Your Average Guy Show. It is it's the show right before Independence Day. What are we at? The 30th of June.
Yep.
Got America's 250th birthday coming up in a few days. Happy birthday, America. All right,
By the
here
way,
we
we're
are.
live
We're
on YouTube.
we're live.
We're live on
Oh yeah,
YouTube.
I can.
I just got a
All right,
notification.
so Riverside had big update, and I can see that right here on my screen that we are.
Nice.
Weird.
My screen looks a whole lot different than it did last time. I almost said last week, but we didn't stream last week, nor the week before, I don't think, right?
Partly
So
my fault.
Sounds right.
sorry to our friends out there, our listener, Trevor. Just let's face it, it's just you.
Just
Uh,
Trevor. Sorry, Barrow.
although
It's
every
just
once
him
in a while,
sometimes.
when we're streaming not through Riverside,
We
people
have
see
like
us
10
and
or 20
join and
listeners.
comment.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you guys see our stream after the fact, yeah, sorry that you missed the last few weeks. Um, what has been going on the last few weeks? I guess, Dan, you sold a house and
We
finally
closed.
actually
Finally
closed
closed.
on it. So that's awesome.
Yep.
And got a bow ordered, which is also super cool. I was intending this
Yeah.
evening to do,
Yeah.
yeah, some things around, some things around my yard, and then tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna still try to do this. I'm gonna try to get the swinger stand up for the targets. So when you get up here this weekend, uh, we can hang a couple targets on the little stand and shoot them.
Do we need to
Because I've
go,
got,
Jimmy, if you're really going to do it, do we need to go to B&B in the next couple days so you have a bow to shoot by the 3rd of July?
Where is that place at?
It's in Raytown, fairly far north into Raytown. It's probably halfway between our houses, I would guess.
Okay.
consequently, if you're looking for a bow in the Kansas City area or archery supplies, check out B&B.
B&B
Freaking
Archery
great,
Supply.
great shop.
Yeah, sales and service.
They've been around for since I was a little kid.
83.
They've moved a time or two. Okay, yeah,
1983.
I was a little kid then.
Yep.
My dad bought probably his first like actual like good bow from them. He was real excited about it. The old Hoyt Fastlight.
Oh.
Um,
I believe,
so
I'm not
that's
100% sure, my
pretty
dad
sweet
bought his first Darton from that shop.
from them.
Not 100%
Nice.
sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's where he got it. Yeah.
Cool. I'm trying to get our live stream pulled up, but well, it says we're live, but I don't have it.
I checked it. It's going.
YouTube
I'm not
invited
sure
me
with
to the
the new
stream.
format. With the new format, I'm not certain that I'm seeing any comments. Like sometimes oh, here we go. It'll link directly to this Riverside page, and I'll just be able to see if anybody comments. But it wasn't doing that. Anyway, yeah, B&B Archery, Basement Bandits
Is that what
is
that
what it
stands
used to
for?
be. Because it,
I didn't know that.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yep.
all the times
They
that
were
I
in
went up until recently, it was in this guy's garage in Raytown, and it was just like he built a really big garage onto his already existing house in a neighborhood, and a couple of
yep.
extra parking spots.
So
Is that where you went as a kid?
yeah, but but before it was in his garage, it was actually in the basement. Like you would walk around the
Okay.
back of the house and go
Okay.
in the basement door, and it was just in the basement.
Yeah.
He had a little shooting lane down there, stuff all on the walls and stuff. Pretty sweet.
Nice.
Uh,
So I kind of like, part of me kind of wishes those days, misses those days, because our
mhm.
grandpa-in-law, Darcy and I have wives that are sisters, so we're almost like brother-in-laws. They have a grandpa who had a train shop in his basement for their whole childhood. Kind of the same
Yeah, full on train store.
hobbyist. Yeah, a train store in his basement, and he had like a track all around, and he had all these displays, and he'd order trains for that train hobby business. Other stuff too, I forget what,
hmm
like model all kinds of stuff, I think.
Where was
And
that
then
at?
out in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay.
York,
And
Pennsylvania.
yep. Dykeman's Depot.
It's kind of
Um,
cool. His business was never huge,
yeah.
but um he had a lot of consistent customers, to enough that eventually, like in the later years, he was having custom cars made. And in order to do that with any kind of like economy and have them affordable, you had to order, 1,500 of them or 2,000 of these train
Mhm.
cars. And he would have them all pre-sold.
Well,
Yeah.
Like I don't have any of them. You don't have any, do you? Of his ones that he made?
I don't know. I don't know if I do or not.
I I mean,
So
it
you
was
might know more.
he
You might
had
know
a
more
follow
about it.
good enough following. Go ahead.
Well, you might know more about it than me, and I know that we have at least one that he had made, but I think there's two
Okay.
categories, and you may know better. One is that they would go and they would photo real train cars and have those real units made into cars. Is that your understanding? With the
Sort
real
of. I don't know
numbers,
that he
the
would
real
necessarily
logos.
have to have I don't know that he would necessarily have to have a picture of an actual train car, but he would research
Yeah,
cars that
that
generally
actually existed.
they were advertisement cars. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so he would look and there would not be a Pennsylvania Railroad refrigerator car that had Morton Salt advertisement on it or whatever. And
right.
so he would design, like he would figure out what the authentic train car design would have been and have that produced. And
Right.
a fun thing, I mean, and also very smart, he would run um he would run two runs of it. So there'd be two serial numbers or
Mm,
two train car numbers in each thing. And so there's plenty of people who want a Dykeman's Depot Morton Salt car because, from this year, the 2014 car is coming out, got to get it. But then there's plenty of other people who are like, well, I have to have both of them. And
right.
I need both car numbers, and so then
Right.
he'd sell doubles to plenty of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what all cars he made, but they were always supposed to have been very authentic. Like he
Authentic.
would figure out old companies, maybe he would find some old company like old steel mill or whatever and figure out if they had a train car or what their advertisement would have been and have a car made of that or whatever, that type of thing. Really cool.
And the other
I
thing I
need
think
to
that he
dig
would
through.
do is there were apparently, even up until right up until he passed, there were, like, even though train stuff is not very big here in the hobby space anymore, there were like international buyers of stuff. And so they would
Yep.
have stuff, they would buy bulk of track and cars and all this stuff. And he would bill, so he would get a shipment from China or Taiwan where they were making the stuff, because all of these companies kind of consolidated into just a few manufacturers over there. They would ship it to the US, and then he would box it all back up and ship it to Germany. And he had guys that bought an entire, like train clubs would buy an entire shipping container packed to the hilt from him. He would pack it up and
Weird.
send it from here to Germany, probably because they weren't going to buy, you know, their distributorship or whatever, or they don't get supplies from China or whatever. And it was like a big deal. And I did get to go see one time. I don't know if I got to go see it, but either I saw a video of it or I saw in person at a train show, one of these groups, they shipped like $100,000 worth of train stuff over to set it up at a train show here, and then pack it all back up and ship it all back to Germany because it was all of their stuff. It was crazy. Like,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. How'd we get on that? Oh,
Yeah,
era.
I mean, he sold to. I remember going out to this little train shop in Maryland one time. Just like this dude had a brick and mortar store down on Main Street or whatever, and he bought from Len
As a supplier.
because Len, you know, had a better, Len had better contacts and better prices and things than he could get from direct, or I don't even know. And they sold a ton on eBay. It'd be interesting to know, as far as model train sales went, where they landed in that.
I know they sold a lot of it. I know they were in there every time I was visiting. They were down there every day,
packing and shipping.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
But that, I guess the point was that era of like people having novelty shop type things in their houses, it's just kind of gone. I mean, with the internet era at this point, because and also the bow shop era where people just get together at the bow shop and hang out and do a little bit of shooting and talking, and like all of that kind of stuff is in Bronson, Kansas, where I grew up. The spot was actually it was a grocery, but it wasn't even barely a grocery. It was a meat cutter. Danny Graham had a little meat cutter shop, and the guys would all go down and hang out at the meat cutting shop and talk about hunting and talk about whatever, drink coffee. And Danny was the sort of a grocer, I guess you'd say.
The one that I don't have a ton of like outdoor and hunting and stuff memories with my dad. Like, we didn't do much hunting together, but I do have a couple super early memories of the archery shop that we would go to, that was his hangout. It's called Buck Rub. It's in Pewaukee, Wisconsin.
Pewaukee.
And it still exists. I just looked it up.
Pewaukee.
Yep, but it was exactly that. It was a pro shop outfitter, but also a hangout with shooting lanes and whatnot.
Darcy, did your dad do a lot of bow hunting?
Well, oh yeah.
when we were in Wisconsin, which I was real little, I do remember having deer hanging in the garage in the wintertime. You know, that's a memory that I have. And I know when we were in Kansas, we had deer hanging in the garage in during the season. But there was a time from the time I was 6, that's when we moved away from Wisconsin, until I was 14, basically. He was either in college. Well, he was in college before that as well. My dad was in college from before I was born until I was 13 years old.
That's a long
So
college career.
Is he a doctor?
being in college and having 4 kids and a wife doesn't leave a whole bunch of time for hunting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after we moved to Kansas, then he got back into it some. But like, we didn't hunt together, and probably mostly because essentially as soon as we moved out there, I started working and he was working. And so if I was going to go hunting, I had to go hunting on my time. And if he was going to go hunting, he wasn't waiting for me. So I hunted by myself when we were in Kansas, which was easy because we lived outside of town and we rented an old farmhouse, and the farmer, he was super chill, real easy to get along with. He owned the entire section that our little farmhouse was on, and then also he owned probably half of the section just to the east of us, I think, maybe a quarter. So that quarter that he owned was like his, and the the section that we were on had been his parents. So he inherited. We actually started renting it from his mom, and then he inherited it. But he was the kind of guy who he hunted on his place, and we were living over there, and his mom didn't care. He didn't care if we wanted to hunt. Totally fine. We could pretty much do whatever we wanted to on that entire 460 acres, as long as we didn't jack with his crops. Like, and he would say that because who knows, at some point in time, either it happened to him or some other farmer that he was friends with, some kids came out and went mudding through the cornfield. And so he'd always say, don't drive in the cornfields. Of course, we're like, I have a little car. I'm not going to drive in your cornfields. But
my little brother would have driven in somebody's cornfield.
Which little brother?
Garrett.
Yeah, he probably is right now.
No, he's moving to Florida.
So, but that old boy, man, what was his name? I can't even remember. Daryl, I think. Yeah, he was super easy to get along with. But so what I started to say is it was super easy for me to hunt because I'd walk out the door of the house, walk across the field, and be into the woods and go sit for a few hours if I anytime I wanted to. But yeah, it's a good time.
Was that where your dad shot League?
So that would have been
Kansas?
later. Yeah. After I moved away, there was a little archery shop over in Fairview, which I wonder if that's still there.
Remember what it was called?
I don't know. I never knew that guy really, but my dad met this guy that had a little shop, and that guy was like
Votruba?
a sponsored, huh? Yeah,
Votruba? They're open.
yeah.
Yeah. Full service archery
So
pro
my dad
shop.
started shooting with that guy, and that guy's like sponsored,
Mm-hmm.
I think by Matthews, and like he shoots competitively. So my dad started shooting over there a lot with him, but I was nowhere around. I was married, gone. I don't even know that guy.
Dude, I know that I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I know that I kind of get on these weird kicks, but this has to do with archery and it has to do with experiences.
Okay.
For Asa's birthday, Asa's my youngest. He wanted to go play golf at Top Golf. Have you guys, either of you guys, been to Top Golf?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have not.
I'll tell you a couple little things about Top Golf. One, if you're left-handed, it's a little frustrating because all
They
the
got
bays
like
are
3 left-handed clubs.
They got one set of girl clubs and one set of dude clubs, and if you ask for guy clubs, they might just give you the girl clubs just to spite you because I walked
Because
over and I was like, "Hey, do
left-handed
you have
people are
left-handed
girls.
clubs?" And the girl's like, "Guys or girls?" And I looked down at myself and I was like, "Guys." And then she gave me the clubs and I got them up there, and I like this driver's like this long, and I'm like, man, this is so the problem is that the screen is sitting there and you're looking at the screen to kind of try to tell if you're right-handed, you're looking at the screen to try to tell what you're shooting at out here because it's like half video game, half golf, right? And if you're left-handed, the screen's behind you. So you're turning around and you're trying to like mentally orient yourself to the field of play. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you can play
I
games
have
like
no
Angry
idea what you're
Birds.
talking about. I thought that Top Golf was like a driving range stacked up.
Yes. And each bay has a screen, and on the screen is the game you're playing, whether it be a long distance driving or whether it's a try to get in these different holes or whether it's Angry Birds and you're just trying to imagine that the the field of play is out there. You're looking at your screen and you're hitting the ball. Well, if you're left-handed, the screen's behind you, so every time you turn around, it just kind of wigs that. You know what I mean, Jimmy? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but I'm not left-handed, so I don't understand that part of it.
It's weird
Do
because
you
you
is it a sim screen? Like do you hit the ball at the
No.
screen?
No.
no, but what happens with the ball in the field, it's tracked, and so it's like the computer knows where the ball would have gone on the game in the screen. Because the field of play where you're doing the driving is represented in the computer. It's a game. It's just for fun. It's you can go here's the whole point. Here's the whole point for the listener who's been to Top Golf, even though Darcy's never been, Jimmy's been more than once, and I've been once. It's 100% accessible golf. It's completely engaging the whole time, and you can be never golfed anything, and you can have fun, and you can have golf experience, and you can probably have fun too. Would you concur with that, Jimmy?
Well, yeah, it's almost like bowling.
Yeah, only it's more fun than
It's more
bowling
fun. Yeah.
because the stakes are even lower. You're not going to end with
Yeah.
like Shea got like 80,000 points in this game just randomly, not because she's like amazing at it, just because she happened to hit it in the right spot to get a good score.
Right.
Because they
So it's
want her to
like,
come back.
Yeah, probably because we set all of ours on easy and one person was on medium. And so the person that was on medium, like everything was smaller, you know. It's hard to explain other than to say that it's very, very accessible golf adjacent activity, right?
Yeah.
Way more
I've
accessible
heard it's
than
fun.
golfing. Yeah, it is fun. And what it got me thinking was all these pro shops are for archery are super inaccessible in the same kind of way as golf is. There's lingo, there's clothing, there's golf clubs, there's fittings. It has all the same trappings of a very unaccessible sport for the uninitiated, if that makes sense. And as I was like at Top Golf and I'm more interested in archery, I started looking up the archery sims, and there's an archery sim called Archery Time that like has the same kind of motif as Top Golf, except that you shoot onto the screen and the screen is projecting the games, and it's actually like a pretty cool golf sim or golf uh archery simulator that would be a really cool like getting into archery thing to have. And like Kansas City does not have a good archery experience of any kind. Like there's a
What?
couple of
Where's
shooting
the
ranges.
closest? Where's the closest archery simulator?
I don't know. There might be an archery simulator in one of the Olympic shooting places, but I don't know if there are. The one over in Olathe closed. The B&B doesn't really have a range. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, what do we
Does
call it?
Shields have
Bondage.
something?
What?
Does Shields, do they have something?
No, they have like a lane about this wide, 10 yards
It's
for
just to
like
it's just to
it's just
try out a bow.
for
Okay.
trying out a bow or paper tuning a bow. It's nothing. It's not interesting. It's not even meant to be like fun per se.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what if you had like a like grab a coffee, grab some pizza, go shoot archery simulator experience where you could move from like archery simulator experience into like an archery class into shooting at an archery range in like South Kansas City. How much more interesting would that be
Dude,
than what's available right now? There's
have
nothing
you ever
available.
shot one of those screens?
I have not. They're always super
They're
expensive.
they're fun, man. They're fun.
Yeah, I
Super
have
fun.
I've heard that, but I don't. There's one in
It's
Lexington,
been so
Missouri.
long since I've shot a screen, but man, it's I don't know, like I said, I don't know Top Golf, but you can on that archery simulator shoots, you can pick like you can go big game hunting, you can go African, hunt
Hmm.
African animals, you can shoot clay, you can shoot targets, you can shoot
That's what this
all
is.
sorts of
Yeah,
fun stuff.
yeah. And Archery Time has
But
a another one that is like you can actually rather like imagine that instead of let's say you wanted to use it for actual training for like distance, you can actually shoot
mhm,
your bow through a chronograph. It takes your speed and then you set that bow and you can take a target that's like supposed to be like 50 meters, right? And you
yeah,
shoot at that target. And even though the arrow just sticks in the wall, it's not a blunt on this one. It's Archery Time is a field tip. It sticks,
oh
and
really?
then the video follows the arrow down to the actual target because you have the actual appropriate speed. And people that actually shoot say it's like 95% real feel of archery, of
Hmm.
range, long distance shooting. Um, I don't know. I'm like, dude, I think it'd be kind of a cool thing to have around. And a lot of
Yeah,
times
for sure it would.
those archery simulators, an archery shop will have like one.
Yes.
That's it. They don't have like 6 of them that you can like
Nope.
just go on their website and rent a time. It's like there's one. And
Because they're expensive.
yeah.
Dude, I just had a thought. So, my brother has a brother-in-law who developed. I don't know if you could say invented, because there are other iterations of this, but he's a computer guy,
Mhm.
and who also likes to shoot guns. He developed a training, like a trainer system
A
with,
dry fire trainer.
yes, with lasers and
Mhm.
whatnot. There's gotta be, I would think that dude could do the same thing for archery, where the costs can come down because you essentially have a projector and some sort of a tracker, like a photo eye, and you could shoot targets, and you can make it more accessible. I'm going to tell Travis that he needs to ask his brother-in-law if he wants to start working on an archery version.
Well, I'm going to get on a call with the Archery Time company and find out how much they charge to set up a sim. And it's
Mhm.
not a sim because it's not like you're shooting a fake bow. You can shoot your real bow, you know.
Yeah, but you're not. It's simulation. It's still a simulation of a hunt or of whatever you're
Yeah,
doing.
or of a game or like and the other thing, like I'm not really into like not role playing games, but like video games, World of Warcraft. I think this company actually has a interactive
Like
like
a first-person shooter game
yes,
with a bow.
like a first person shooter game with a bow where
That's
the
pretty
shooter
funny.
is like running around in the game and then like longbow or recurve like shooting the orcs in Lord of the Rings or shooting the castle wall or whatever. Like
That's
that's
pretty
pretty
funny.
dope, I think.
If you're into that.
Yeah, so like
I think
that's the other
shooting a
thing. Like
rhinoceros is pretty cool.
so like let's say that you've got like 10 people that are at this party or whatever, and you're like the archers in a medieval war, and you're like all 10 of you are just sitting there just like whacking the knights and the horsemen and stuff. Like that's pretty cool, right? Like I I I think that'd be a lot of fun. Um but like I mean the other thing is like with the archery stuff, not to like just keep ragging on it, but like the Affliction, that's what it was, Affliction Archery from down there south
Uh-huh.
of us. It's I don't want to say that they're like bad dudes, but like the guy just always kind of rubs me wrong. And like I think like if you started something like that in a strip mall in South Kansas City or up north or something, I think the B&B guys, if you were like, hey, why don't you guys be like, we do this thing, and then it's like Pro Shop powered by B&B Archery since 1983, like bring some legitimacy to the moving people into the archery rather than being like we're opening this thing to compete with all of the pro shops around, which are very few and far between in the first place.
Hmm.
I don't know, like I think it'd be kind of a fun
For sure it would.
business to have. But it might cost
Yeah, it would.
$100,000 a lane. I don't know. Like I'm gonna
Right.
find out when I, talk to the guys.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I think that those are fun, super fun. And I've
Where
only
did
shot,
you?
and I was trying to remember what it was. What like I don't remember where we went, and I can't even remember the name of that system.
So there was
But
one in the day
you
that was
shoot
called Techno
a big,
Hunt.
yeah, it's not that.
Not Techno Hunt.
You shoot a
And
big
then
old screen, like there's a big screen hanging down on covering the whole wall, and you put big old blunt tips on your arrows.
let me see. And the blunts might be the thing about the field tips is like just being able to shoot field tips instead of blunts into the wall of the screen. It just
Hmm.
makes it to where you don't have to do any adaptation of your bow. You just get a pin,
Right.
sight a pin for the distance, and you're good.
Yes.
I'm gonna look it up. Bum, 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 bum. So there's archery time, Toxivo, Orion Arch,
Hmm.
Techno Hunt. Those are the only four that ChatGPT is coming up with.
Hmm. It could have been Orion, but I don't think it was.
Most of them focus on hunting scenarios. Competition and league, family games are. Yeah, I don't know. It's only coming up with Orion Arch, Toxivo, Archery Time, Techno Hunt. I don't know. Might have just been a different brand, or they might have called it something different at the one you went to, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly. Yep. Yeah. Do it. I hope you get one going. You have to
I
build a big building,
I
though.
I wonder if the play would be for someone like me would be to go buy a uh like a strip mall type of building and just start smaller and just like like rent the others out and expand into the rest of it eventually. S
Hmm.
because then there's like an actual commercial real estate play that you could actually make
Yeah.
the keep the thing going on rather than like, hey, we're going to drop $1 million or $2 million starting this thing and hope it works. um I mean, that'd be fun too, but dicey a little bit. I mean, okay, the like Frontier Justice, they seem to be doing well, and they're just kind of like out of nowhere, you know. I bet their setups are I bet the setups were 5 million when they built them to put their buildings in the
Oh.
ground and their shooting ranges. Like that'd be like the starting point to get those facilities up and running. Um And I talked to the guy shortly after they opened the one in um, over on our side of town, and
Lee Summit.
I bet it wasn't within a year. They weren't even doing the archery part anymore.
Hmm.
They do the archery part at the one up by you still?
No, they don't have any archery there.
Yeah, it was like they opened. They had a little archery department. They had some Matthews and some Hoyt bows. They were doing those Matthews Genesis bows, and they were trying to get the school archery programs going. But they only dedicated a space like out of that whole building, half the size of my basement. Like they had like 8 yards of distance on the archery side. And it was like, well, I don't think it's going to work if you're just kind of doing archery as like a side note to all of these like massively cool guns and stuff. Like, because they tend to have like a stockpile of like really nice firearm equipment in there. I don't know.
Jimmy knows the president of Frontier
do you?
Justice.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
don't know if he
president?
still is or not. I
I
haven't
thought it
talked
was
to him
just
in
an
a while.
owner. There's a president?
Well,
Got to have
Yeah.
somebody run the thing.
Josiah Lowther.
Who is that? It's just somebody you know? Or you
Yeah, I mean, I've known
know
him
him.
his entire life. He's some friends of mine's kid.
I did not know that. I thought it was just a family-owned business. They're actually like
It is.
It is.
It is,
Is-
but the owners are not as involved as they once used to be.
Oh, okay. Like, it's according to him, is it doing well? Like, I haven't been in there in forever,
I
but
think so, yeah.
there's not a lot of shooting ranges around either. So like,
Mm.
they're probably gobbling up all of the like shooting range business, I would think.
And they sell a lot of guns.
Yeah. I
And
bought a
they-
22
they-
there.
Fairly recently started doing the like simulator rooms.
Like the
Well,
laser simulator.
Like you can
stuff.
go,
They don't have
like you
that
can go
anymore.
shoot. They don't have
Oh,
it
they don't?
anymore. Not at all.
Yeah, they closed it down.
Oh,
Why's that?
huh. That's too bad.
Not enough people interested in it.
They didn't want to pay more to shoot a simulator. Like they're shooting real bullets at simulator stuff or what?
No, it was like I don't know how it worked out exactly, but
It basically you had a floor to ceiling huge screen, like movie theater size screen,
Mhm.
and you would stand maybe 15, 20 feet away from it with a gun. It's basically like a real Glock that's been converted into this laser
a
type
laser.
gun.
Mhm.
And then you can just plug in any kind of scenario, like active shooter scenario, walking down the street, whatever. There's endless things. And then you're just like walking through the whatever, and somebody pops out and you got to shoot the right guy.
So it's not like a game, it's like a real life scenario.
Right. Yeah, it's like real looking people.
Yeah, like have you ever
That's
seen
not-
Men in Black?
That's not really fun. Is it?
No, it's a trainer. It's a trainer thing.
Yeah,
Like it's
a
a
trainer. Like it seems like a more serious thing than like a game.
Yeah.
I think
for
you
sure.
can also do fun things. There's endless options.
But people just wanted to go and shoot their real guns at targets.
Yep.
Two-dimensional pictures of Terry's.
Right. So yeah, you can no longer do that there.
Okay. Well, I guess I won't then.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
You missed your opportunity.
Yeah, I wouldn't say missed it, Dan.
Nah, I wouldn't say missed it exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. I had a couple of thoughts of some things we should talk about tonight.
Oh, good.
Let me think here. I remember one of them.
I had a whole list of things, but I can't remember them.
Can't remember.
No,
'cause
I
didn't
just
have
had
the list.
two things. I did not write it down. Maybe the second thing will come to me while we're talking about the first thing. So, in a recent podcast that I believe we've all consumed at least part of, there was a thought that got brought up that made me think, man, I don't know what I think about that. And so I thought I would ask you guys,
Okay.
what are your thoughts on bucket lists? Like just the concept of
personal
the
bucket
bucket list. Yeah, the bucket list.
The bucket.
Jimmy, would you say do you have a bucket list?
No.
Dan?
No. I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't
This
either.
isn't going to go
So,
very far, is it?
well, I mean, but why not? What do you think? Like, have you ever thought about it
Or
or
considered it?
considered it?
I mean, I've thought
No.
about things that I would like to do sometime, but I don't know that I would put it on a list and say, I mean, I've got to do it.
So that was what made me think of this is this podcast I was listening to, the person being interviewed, one of the things that he had recently done, he he talked about it having been on his bucket list. And when the opportunity presented itself, he said, I have to do it. It's on my bucket list. I have to do it.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, man, I don't. A couple things. One, I don't can't think of anything that I have that type of a commitment to as far as an experience or an activity that if I do not complete it or experience it, I will not be fulfilled.
Right.
Or and so that which so that just got me thinking, is that just a personality thing for me, or is it a philosophy type of a thing? I kind of think it's a little bit of both. I think that my personality and my philosophy of life, well, I mean, and probably my personality drives my philosophy, but just doesn't lend itself to that type of thinking. Like I don't think that there are a whole bunch of things that I am banking on to like complete my fulfillment in life. But maybe I'm overthinking it, and maybe it's not like that. Maybe people who do sit down and think through a bucket list aren't going that deep. Maybe they're just like, maybe it's not as serious as it sounds.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something about the person's bucket list that you were referring to, because I
Uh
didn't
huh.
hear that part, I don't think, in the podcast. Is the bucket list experience for that person and generally a like experience, like I have to experience this? I don't know if that makes sense, but like an exhilarating thing, or what kind of thing are we talking about?
Oh, yeah. And okay, so in this specific thing, I've done, but it's just the concept of it. Is what struck me was the specific phrasing. It's on my bucket list. I have to do it. That's kind of just what made me start thinking about like what goes into that.
Um, I have a take on this, and
Okay,
it's
yeah, that's
probably
why I
it's
brought it up.
probably
That's kind of how
it's
podcasts
probably
work, I think.
kind of far off of the bucket list thing. Here's what
Okay.
I have. Um, I have about 100 or 1,000,000 different versions of myself that I could be and could enjoy being. And I know that I will never be all of those different versions of myself. And some of them make me frustrated that I am not going to ever be that person. And some of them I'm just like, I don't think that that would be any better than what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
I know,
Like
I know what you're saying. I mean, I think we've touched on this before.
I could, I could like have a big old contracting business and be the guy that's like ordering a bunch of people around, make a bunch of money doing that, and not I wouldn't enjoy that any better than what I'm doing now. I could I could be the guy who's like always all ate up about fishing and hunting and just like that's the only like I could be that guy. I enjoy being in the woods. I enjoy being on the water. Like I could picture myself being a guy who's like got a catamaran and is like sailing around the coast of Florida and down into the Bahamas. I could picture those being who I am. But like, am I gonna like drop everything and go be those guys? I think for me, if it's anything, a bucket list would have to be like I'm gonna just go do something completely different than what I'm doing. It's not just like an experience that I would have, like jumping out of an airplane. It would be like a whole like different version of me. So I
Yeah.
can't put it on a bucket list because like I don't have time for all that.
Because your bucket's not big enough.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. I think where we've talked on this, where we've touched on this philosophy or this like thought process before is when I believe that at some point in the past, maybe more than once, we've talked about the kind of the concept of, and plenty of people are like this. Plenty of people have this thought process or, philosophy. I keep going back to the philosophy of when they look at what they're doing for work or like to fill their time, whether it's a job or a ministry or I don't, whatever, a calling, however that is, whatever that means to that person. But you have these people who say something like, I don't know if I could be happy doing anything else. And I kind of feel like that thought process is somewhere in that same vein of bucket list stuff. Like an experience is generating fulfillment. And I don't think like that personally. And I think for the most part, none of the three of us are in that type of.
Yeah. Well, okay. That made me, when you say that made me think of like one thing that I do that does happen to me. Not because I think that I'm like so great or anything, but when I go to concerts, especially my favorite type of venue, which is like 300 people or less venues of concerts, not like big concerts. Like I love going to a concert that is like a handful of people, right?
Sure. It's a good time.
When I'm there listening to people with a band or just like a singer-songwriter and they're traveling around and they're like kind of doing that nomad thing and doing these concerts, I'm like, man, I think that would be a cool thing to be doing. Like I cannot escape the feeling whenever I'm at those concerts that I would like to be that guy. Like
Sure.
the other night when we went to the concert, I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. I think that me and Darcy and a drummer could put on a show every bit as good as what we're watching right now. Better. No offense, Jimmy, for your band, but like, I think we could. And, but then I'm like, but it's an all-consuming thing to do that.
Yeah.
And is that really?
And we already know Darcy doesn't have time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been better the other night.
That's right.
Sorry, Stan.
That's true.
I mean, but you know, like there's things like that every time I'm in that scenario, I'm like, ah, man, I could do that, and I would enjoy it.
Oh
I
yeah.
loved. We did one. What did we do? One season. We did maybe like 6 or 8 total concerts or whatever you'd call them, events. That was a good season of
With
like,
no Ferrum.
yeah, and
Oh yeah.
and if those guys were like not children, that I think we were pretty. I think we were good. Like, I
Yeah,
think we could
for
have made
sure.
it into something for real. But I mean, is my life less fulfilled for not dropping everything and going doing that? I don't think so. Like, I don't know if I love it that much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wondered if you guys had different takes on it than I did. I was, unfortunately for, our audience, I thought that we probably aligned for the most part.
Yeah.
And so there's not a whole lot of give and take here,
Okay,
and
I'm gonna
What can we
make up a
talk
bucket
about that
list.
we have 3 different opinions on?
I'm gonna make up a bucket list thing, Darcy, and then you can tell the
Okay.
story of when it almost happened. Okay. So this is back on the hunting. This is back on hunting thing, right? You
Okay.
would think that I was much bigger hunter than I am with this wall, wouldn't you? Like I do not hunt very much at all. Although I would like to hunt more.
but you only shoot big things and elk and velvet.
Yeah, and that's not true at all. Because I get made fun of every time I shoot some dink of a little doe by everybody at deer camp. And I'm just like, what?
That would be us.
That would be you guys and Jimmy. And
Jeremy.
and Jeremy, sorry. Jimmy and Jeremy and Darcy and but okay, so one thing that I have thought that I would like to do, and this is one of the reasons that I am getting the bow that I'm getting, because my bow is, other than the fact that the limb is cracking and at some point it's probably going to collapse and I'm going to be like, oh crap. I would like to do a like Western style hunt in the Ozarks where you just like hike around and glass and then find a deer and sneak up on it and drill it from like 80 yards.
I could do that in my yard.
Because, and the reason I say that is because like we hunt in these conditions in the Midwest that are like, go sit somewhere, wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And if I had like a week where like all your total pursuit is get up every morning and just go out and like slowly move around and hike around, I think I could get a deer like Western hunt style on a whitetail. Does that make sense? Like nobody does that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think that one of the major reasons that nobody does that in the Midwest is because cover is so much different.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
in the West, you're going to be glassing like from a clump of trees to another clump of trees.
Right.
Whereas and you're potentially, you're, for us, if we were out in Wyoming, we're hunting public land because that's
Big
what,
country. Yeah.
and so we're on thousands of acres. And when you first see that elk, it may be a quarter mile away.
Yeah. Maybe
But
a
you
mile,
can
maybe
glass
2
it.
miles.
But there's not a place in Missouri where you can see a deer a mile away.
Well, okay. But here's the thing. Some of the places that we've gone on backpack trips, I think you go down to Peck Ranch, some of those type of areas where they actually have released elk.
Yeah.
There's thousands of
That's
acres of
there's
public
a
land.
Can you draw an elk tag there on
Yeah,
Peck?
you
I
can.
think Peck Ranch has some
Yeah,
managed hunting, right?
yeah. You can draw an you have to put in for an elk tag, and I think they might even have a bear tag or two down there now. It is a limit of one per lifetime on the elk tags in Missouri,
No way.
or 10 years. It's a long time. Okay, but imagine that you just like get up and you go on a backpack trip, but you take your bow. I think eventually down there in the Ozarks, you'd come across a deer that was paying little enough attention that you could get on it before it got on you, and you could stalk it and you could drill it from a decent
I
distance. You're
think
not
some
going
of
to
them
get
deer that Darcy has killed with a gun. You could do that with a bow.
you're not going to get 30 yards from them, but you could get 50, 80 yards from them, I think, and knock them down. You were with me. The reason I say that, part of the reason I say that is something that I would like to do, but it's certainly not something that like I'm gonna like cry over if I don't ever get to do it. Right.
So
But you were with me when we were stalking a deer and I almost got it. And you were like, there's no way. And I was like, there is a way. And
where
right
which when
down at
when
camp
we were on
on the
when we
island.
were on that. Oh, I was trying to remember if there was a time because we went. Have we only been once, or have we gone twice over to that? What's that place down the road from Doug and Faith's? Indian something or other.
We've only been down there once together, but we were on the other side of the river
Yeah.
with our bows. You remember this?
Yes. I remember being over there.
And we were just kind of checking out the place, and we went over and checked out that place where the guy that they let back in the day they would let hunt there baited his deer illegally. Remember that? And then we were hiking out onto that field, and this is like 20 some years ago when I had that old PSE bow. That you remember this? And we step out on the
Man.
field, and there's these does that just kind of start moving across. And I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. And you're like, you're not gonna hit that. And I'm like, just freaking lobbed this arrow, right? And Darcy's like, there's no way. And we get over there, and there's a freaking blood trail. You remember this? I got
No.
I'm not saying this is the most ethical thing to have done, but like I whacked that deer and we never found it. And it was like, I don't know if it was like way over 50 yards, but it was out there, and we didn't have no 70-yard pins back then. Like we had like
Isn't that
30
funny
yards.
to think that a 60-yard shot was essentially unfathomable when we were
Unfathomable.
in high school?
Unfathomable. Yeah. Dude, it was basically unheard of in 2010. With the
When
equipment that was available.
when I was hunting in high school, I passed on deer that were out past 30 yards because I was just like, it's a little far.
Well, I will tell you this, that you were there when we kind of lost permission to hunt at the camp from Dustin. We were actually building the wood shop. Remember this?
Yeah.
We were
Yes.
working building the wood shop, and I had this like little ladder stand that just had like the rungs up to a wooden platform, and you had to sit on the stand and put your feet on the ladder.
Hmm.
And we got there, we go to Dustin, who's like the resident self-proclaimed hunting guide,
Hunting guy.
and he's like,
Who,
I'm asking him,
who, hold up. Who also, when he, when he started shooting a bow, shot it for like 6 months without even knowing that he was shooting a left-handed bow right-handed,
or right-handed bow, left-handed, something.
or whichever.
And then we shot together, and I was like, well, you're holding it
What are
right.
you doing?
He couldn't figure out why his pins were so off, but his arm was against the cables, which was torquing the bow. So
Anyway,
he asked us to come down and hunt. He wanted us to come hunt. And so that season, I think that same season, I got 2 deer down there. So he'd already invited us to hunt the rifle season, and it was pre-rifle season. We were down there working on the camp's wood shop and like storage building with Darcy and his framing crew. And so we got there, and I had this stand in the back of my truck, and I'm like, so Dustin, I'm thinking I'm gonna archery hunt tonight. Where are the deer? And he's like, well, this herd of deer kind of comes down through here, and then I've got to stand over there, but they never make it there by the time it gets dark, and it's always too dark by the time they get there, and I never see them over there. But they go blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, why don't you just set up like right there? Oh, well, I never really thought about it. And I'm like, do you care if I set up right there? And he's like, oh, yeah, no, go ahead. So I set up like halfway in the path that he says that they walk by every day.
but it's
And
too dark by the time they get over there.
but it's too dark by the time they get to where his stand is. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna just set up right there. And so like 7 deer come trucking up through there, up out of the river bottom and across, and so all of them pass, and the very last one, I'm like this on, like, and I shoot down, and I just miss the thing, and I'm like, ah, and he runs off to the other ones, but then he's standing out there, and he's like kicking his leg a little bit, like just kind of like looking at his leg and kicking it, and I'm like, ah, dang, I think I hit that deer. And so I don't have a pin, but I'm like, that thing's out there a ways. I bet it's like 50 yards. And so I just lob an arrow there and just freaking pinwheeled it right through the heart. And it was like 47 paces out there. So it was probably like 50 some yards, I would guess. Is that, you were there? Like it was a ways out there for those days. And it ran like not very far and just like collapsed. It was a good little hunt. And that turkey was mad at me the next time I went down there because those deer never walked through there again. And I was like, but they were never going to get to your stand before dark. What are you like? He's like, well, they just don't even come around anymore. I'm like, well, they probably don't come right there anymore, but they do. They're here somewhere. They're just not where they were.
Yeah.
And there's one less.
And there's one fewer of them. And it's rifle season
Mhm.
now. So then we get there, and he's already kind of saucy with me about having shot this deer. And we get there because he invited us to go on like a hunt on opening weekend of rifle. And he's like, well, here's the different places I have set up to hunt. And he's like, I mean, I set up here, I hunt up in this stand like every night. And basically I'm not seeing anything up there. And somebody can hunt there and somebody can hunt. And I'm like, oh, I'll just go up there where you've been hunting every night. Right. because I got
Because if
no.
you're tired of it because you're not seeing anything.
Yeah, he wanted to hunt somewhere else because he's not seeing anything. So I went up there and I looked at his stand, and he had like a climbing
Was it
stand that he
the?
had hung up there, and then he had a deer
It was
hide
the deer hide
in
stand.
it.
Oh yeah,
And I was like, oh,
not
that's
not leather. Like he skinned a deer and then just plopped it up there.
it was nasty.
That's gross.
I
Yeah,
wasn't gonna
it
get
was
mange.
gross.
So I climbed up in that stand and I was like, ooh, this thing has a putridness to it. And so I just got down and I went like maybe 50 yards away. And this little buck, and I say little, he was little. He was like this big, but he had like 14 points.
Yeah.
Comes
Did that
trucking
one
through
get
there.
burned up?
I
Was
think
it
it
at your
did. Yeah.
dad's garage?
Yeah, it was. Yep. But it had like all these little stickers on it and stuff and like 14 point, but it was like basketball size rack. And he comes trucking up through there and I just drilled him with the 300 Weatherby and just smoked him. And it
Flipped
was
him down the hill.
it just flung him down the hill. And he just like rare, just boom, done. And Dustin was like, I can't believe this. Like he was so mad at me for shooting that deer too. I've hunted up here every night for the whole season, and you just come out here and just shoot the deer out from under. And I'm just like, well, I can't win. I took what you said was the worst spot on the place, and you're still mad at me. Dude didn't like ever talk to me about hunting after that year. Not ever.
Loser.
That's the same night. Or was it the next night? Was that in the
I was
morning?
done, so I gave you the 300 Weatherby, and you shot that
And
deer,
you
and I
sat in the
filmed
tree
it.
right below me.
Yeah,
And
and
I
I
shot
filmed
that
it.
deer right at dark.
Yeah,
Shot that doe.
yeah.
And old Dave was mad at that. Because
That
that,
was totally.
dude, we're both in the same tree, basically. And Dan's got a video camera. And these deer come out onto the field right in front of us, right at dark. And so we're both like looking at our watch, like we know when sundown was. Legal shooting is until 8:39, and it is 8:36.
Yeah.
It's probably like 6:39, but yeah,
Or yeah, whatever the yeah.
yeah.
So I'm like, should I shoot it? And he's like, can you see it? And it's a freaking awesome scope, a Swarovski bright, great scope. And I'm like, of course I can see it. He's like, well, shoot it. And so I did. And I blast this doe. She chucks out into the field, 50 yards maybe she ran, which was unbelievable because do you remember walking up on her and her chest is just blown open? Like I
Yeah,
shot her quartering away and it blew her whole chest open.
it
Well,
was more what it really was. Well, go ahead, finish. Yeah,
so another guy who was out there hunting, who lived down the road, he was walking back to his vehicle already. Because he's that kind of a hunter. Like,
yeah.
I can't remember. I can't say that I've never hopped down out of a tree. I mean, if I haven't seen anything all day and it gets to be 25 minutes after sunset, I guess I've probably climbed down out of a tree a time or two. But I would say that more often, even if I haven't seen anything, it gets to be 30 minutes past sunset, and I may sit there for another 15, just because I always feel like I'm going to climb down and spook whatever was just about, to walk out on the field. Well, this guy, when it comes sunset, he's already done. So he had climbed down out of his tree and had walked out of the woods and was walking down a gravel driveway area. And I think he probably peed himself a little bit whenever I shot that deer, which would have been, he probably was 100 yards the other direction of where I was shooting, but he was walking down the road that deer then like jumped over and went out into the field, and he was mad that we were shooting after dark.
Yeah.
And he also didn't actually have any say, but
also there also is a thing where two things. One, the woods is unshootable by 30 minutes after. The fields are very shootable at 30 minutes after sunset. So I have at various places that I've hunted had a setup where I'm like in the woods and going, when it gets to be 10 minutes or 15 minutes till legal shooting, I'm actually getting down and I'm going to this certain field to go glass it and see if there's a deer out there. And I've had pretty good success, especially up north, with that last 15 minutes because the deer are already out on that field. And if I've got good wind, I can move on to the field and get a new picture of what's going on.
sure.
And it
That's
was
not
very
what he was
much
doing.
It was very much an open field situation that we were on. We were in a tree on
That shot, yeah,
Yeah.
of a wide open field.
And so I'll add that, and maybe you were going to finish the story, but like you finished it with the Taurus, didn't you? 'Cause it's
Oh,
still
did I?
alive.
Yeah, I think so.
Still alive
Yeah,
when you got there.
yeah, and I shot it in the head.
Yeah. But it had actually, so if you've skinned out deer, audience, the shoulder of a deer is not attached to the deer by a joint. The front shoulder does not have a socket. It has a shoulder blade and a bunch of material, sinew and muscle, and effectively Darcy's shot had like laid that entire shoulder off of that deer.
Dang.
Without the bullet even maybe fully going through the chest. I don't remember exactly, but it was more just, I mean, that gun, I haven't shot a deer with that gun in years at this point.
Well, that gun, I mean,
It's just
it's
so
a 300
much.
Weatherby, and that shot was it was probably a 30-yard shot max.
It wasn't very far.
So much energy in that.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are massive bullets too. Like, what grain is that thing
It
pushing
was
out?
either 180 or a 230 grain bullet.
Yeah.
It was a lot of bullet. Yeah, it's a lot. And it's still booking at like 3,000. If it's a 200 plus grain bullet, it's still booking at over 3,000 feet per second. Not 3,000. I think some of them are coming off at like close to 3,000 feet per second. I'd have to look it up, but it's a lot. Somebody who's actually into gun ballistics would tell me that's totally wrong. 300 Weatherby Magnum. All they have is a 165 grain. A 165 grainer is coming off at 3,120 feet per
Dang.
second.
And you're
It's
30 yards.
moving. Oh yeah, it was not a long shot. I mean, it might have been 20 yards.
A 200 grain Nosler is coming off at 3,060. So 220 grain, 2,845. Roughly 3 times faster than a 357. And more bullet. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. So that guy, here's the other crazy deal. I'm not like, this has been 20 years ago at this point. So we're not telling any like highly classified fish and game stories here. But like the next night, that same guy that was absolutely
That was mad that I shot
Mad.
after dark.
that he shot after dark, when he was leaving the field on a 4-wheeler side by side, a deer was standing there and he just shot it
Spotlighted a deer.
under headlight conditions.
Yes.
Like, and loaded it up and left. And we're like, what?
Like, wait.
That guy
So-
was so mad when you shot like probably within 5 minutes of closeout because it startled him. And the next night he's just poaching.
Yeah.
We weren't hunting with him. He just happened to be at the same location.
Same property.
I mean, it was crazy. Like, what is? Anyway.
Classic.
Yep.
But old Dustin kind of revered that guy. He did not revere me.
Yeah. I think
My-
that guy taught him how to hunt, taught him everything he knew.
Probably so. Yeah, good
Yep.
times.
Well, whatever the other topic was did not ever come to me.
That's okay. I need to go to bed.
Yep. Maybe I'll remember it by next week.
There you go. Write it down next time.
Yeah. So when I was driving my car earlier to go do things that I was not wishing I was doing, I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, I got to remember bucket list and whatever. And then I thought to myself, man, I need to write it down. And then I thought to myself, man, why did I quit carrying a notebook in my back pocket?
You do
Because
have
I
a
did.
notebook
I don't
in
know.
your back pocket.
I have a notebook in my front pocket, but I didn't pull that out.
But you can't ever remember to
Didn't
get
make
it
it
because it's not in your back pocket.
Yeah. So I'm going to start throwing that notebook in my back pocket again because I don't know. I used to write stuff down on it when it was there. So that'll be that's my
That's your bucket list thing?
yeah,
Bucket
I'm
Maybe
putting
the
that
guy
on
that
my
carries a
bucket
notebook.
list. That's my
You can start
that's
a
my
bucket
resolution
list on the
on my notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's what
All
I'm
right.
gonna do. All righty then. I'll see you guys Friday, right?
Friday.
We're gonna do a stream with me archery shoot on the 4th,
We should.
3rd of July. Probably should
Yep.
do that.
See if we can shoot my phone again.
I like it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All righty then. Back to it then.
Back
Yep.
to it then.
Haven't seen that guy in a while.